A beginner 3D printer doesn't need to be the best machine you've ever owned, but it does need to give you a really good first experience so you enjoy your time learning how to 3D print. You know that adage how you can have things good, fast, or cheap? It applies to 3D printers too. Hi, I'm STL Denise, and today we're talking about beginner 3D printers for every budget. We'll cover what a beginner needs in a new machine, what printer is going to offer them the best experience, and most important, which one is going to make your wallet happy. Look, 3D printers are evolving super fast, which makes it easy to get outdated information on the internet. People are still debating if you should start out with an under 3. On the other hand, YouTubers can get all wrapped up in the latest shiny thing because who wants to make a video about an old printer? So, this video is not sponsored by any printer company, but it does feature three companies that I happen to like a lot. After all, I don't want to lead you down the wrong path. I've broken these recommendations into three tiers based on price. Each machine is a full size printer, so you'll have plenty of build volume. And each one has a mobile app, which makes it very easy for beginners to find free stuff to print. Also, you might notice that these machines came out in 2023, which means they've been around long enough to shake out all the bugs and have plenty of tutorials made about them. If you run into any issue with one of these printers, someone on Reddit has already seen it and solved it. Let's start with the budget 3D printer. If you're kind of on the fence about getting into 3D printing, I don't think you should run out and buy the most expensive machine you could lay your hands on. Same goes if you're gifting a printer to a kid or you're buying something as a family project. Buyer's remorse is a real thing, especially if you sink money into a hobby that turns out to just be a phase. But even if your budget is tight, I still want you to get a new printer, not something off Facebook Marketplace or an open box special. Secondhand printers can be trouble, and you need to know exactly why someone got rid of it. It could be a lemon or the victim of massive user error. I know a guy who flipped open box printers, and what he found inside was terrifying. Used printers are only good if you know the person who's trading up and they're willing to help you get it going. It should be no surprise that my favorite budget printer is an Ender. No, not that one. The Ender 3 V3 SE is only $179. The SE was made specifically for beginners. The interface is very helpful, and the screen will do things like show you how to load filament. It has a completely hands-free bed leveling, which is great, but it doesn't have the speed of printers launching today. But that's okay. None of those printers are actually as fast as they claim to be. It does require a little assembly, but that's no big deal. The SE is strictly a single color machine, which eliminates some of those complex parts and brainy electronics. This is what keeps it cheap. The Ender 3 V3 SE is good, it's cheap, but it's not fast. Now, if you're into 3D printing, you're probably the kind of person who loves making things, and that's why this video is sponsored by PCBWay. PCBWay isn't just for circuit boards. They do make gorgeous PCBs starting out at just $5. But they also offer 3D printing, CNC machining, sheet metal work, and even injection molding. So no matter what level of maker you are, they can help you turn an idea into something you can actually hold in your hand. I've been using their 3D printing service when I need parts made in materials my home printers can't handle, like resin, nylon, or metal. You upload a file, you pick out your material, and they ship it right to your door. And right now, they've got their Christmas sale going on with coupons and discounts and tons of services. So it's great time to try them out. Check out the link in the description below to get started with PCBWay and bring your next projects to life. Thanks, PCBWay. Now let's take it up a notch. The best mid-tier beginner 3D printer is the Bambu Lab A1. Now, this is a very popular machine. It was so far ahead of its time that we're just now seeing the copycats hit the shelves. And you know what they say, stealing your design is the best form of flattery. At least I think that's what they say. The A1 is a super fast bed slinger with excellent print quality and hands-free bed leveling. It comes with a camera for monitoring prints, and it has a nice little touchscreen that's in full color. And it's very easy to use. It introduced this cool magnetic hot end that's really easy to swap and maintain. And this thing is so good that Bambu started using this little design on their deluxe printers. The A1 retails for $400 as a single color machine, but while I'm recording this, it is on sale for $279, and that's a heck of a deal. Like the Ender, this will need a little bit of assembly to put together. The Bambu ecosystem has everything that you need. And while I don't think you should get trapped in anyone's walled garden, it's a nice place to start. They have free online academies to help you learn about your printer. You can buy all kinds of filament from their website, download free model files from their library, buy maker parts from their web store, and they have tools if you want to try to make your own designs. If your Bamboo printer throws an error, you can use the mobile app to track down any advice on their wiki to fix it. I gotta admit, it's pretty slick. I strongly believe newbies should start with a single color, but the A1 has one of the easiest to use multicolor systems. Buying the A1 as a combo is cheaper than adding an AMS later, so if you think you want to go down that route, go ahead and get the combo, then maybe just play around with the single color to start with. And now our top tier beginner 3D printer, the Prusa Research Mark IV-S. It does feel a little weird calling the Prusa Mark IV a beginner printer because usually we steer beginners towards cheaper machines. I guess it's easier to ask someone to throw $100 at a new hobby than, say, 700. On the flip side, if your introduction to 3D printing is a cranky, poorly built, horribly supported piece of garbage, will you want to stick with it? The Prusa Mark IV-S is a different kind of machine. Prusa is the oldest company on this list, and they're the foundation that other consumer 3D printers are built on. They're made in Europe, and they're branching out to the US through Printed Solid. The machines are made of quality parts, but they also keep it very simple. So if something needs to be fixed, you can handle it yourself with a screwdriver. Because the truth is, 3D printing is not mainstream yet, and if your printer breaks down, you're the one who's going to need to fix it. Instead of sending you to an AI wiki, Prusa has live 24/7 English speaking human tech support. Each printer also comes with a handbook, and so you can learn about 3D printing, and they have tons of resources online. Probably the number one reason to buy a Prusa are the upgrades. Joseph Prusa doesn't want to see his machines in a landfill. When they come up with an improvement, they release the upgraded parts, not just firmware updates. In fact, if you bought a Mark II about 10 years ago, it could have been upgraded all the way to a Core 1. This printer has excellent quality, hands-free leveling, easy to swap nozzles, and once you master the basics, you can upgrade it to a 5-color machine with an MMU3. They also have an excellent ecosystem with filament that they make themselves to exacting standards, a file library with free models to cover all kinds of practical and fun prints, tons of design contests, and a mobile app to get those files to your computer lickety-split. Prusa also supports open source, so that library contains files that you can use to customize, upgrade, or repair your printer. And if you don't want Big Brother snooping on your machine, Prusa is the only printer company that lets you operate a modern printer totally offline, no extra charge. You just need a USB stick to move the files or a landline setup. Now, the kits are $700, which requires assembly, and it's actually a pretty cool way to learn how your printer works. Fully assembled machines are $999, which, yeah, it's an investment, but so is an iPhone. So there's my best 3 picks for a beginner 3D printer at all price ranges. I hope you enjoyed our little chat, and if you have any questions on what machine that you should get, feel free to put them in the comments down below. Thanks.